Hello, listeners. This is the first time we do this, so we don't know what we're doing. We have no intro.
We should we should work on one.
We should.
So, sweeps, what topic do we have today?
First topic I wanted to talk about because it's still all the rage is AI and its
AI, you
uses.
say?
hmm And how it's used, what it's used for, why people like it, why people hate it. We don't have to go into too much detail, but I wanted to talk about a bit because a while ago I saw something about the top most listened to song, Christian song, was made using AI. Now there's a lot of people I saw split on the topic, so I wanted to go ahead and speak about it because I myself have my own opinions.
I remember you brought it up the other day, and I looked into some of it,
hmm
and it was it was very interesting to watch some of the um, video or the music video that was made, and
Mm.
yeah, I feel like we should also play a little bit of it so those who have probably not seen it or heard it can get an example of what we're talking about.
Okay, we could do that.
For those who don't know, it is in the top 100 on iTunes.
What's the name of the song? I forgot about it.
I believe. Let's see. I'm looking it up really quick. By it's by an account called Solomon Ray.
Solomon
And
Ray.
yeah, from what I'm looking up. Find which song because he's made a couple since then too. I think it's
Okay.
"Find Your Rest" is the top listened to song, or is it "Marching On to Mount Zion"? There's like two that have huge numbers.
Okay.
The album's called "Faithful Soul."
Yeah, he has a few. Okay. I think we can only play about 10 seconds without getting copyrighted.
Unless I probably, I don't know. I think it's 30 seconds.
Is it 30 seconds?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't have iTunes, so it probably won't let me play the whole song. But let's see. Share screen. I think this should get caught by OBS.
You just plug it through more from
Do I have
both
audio?
viewers and my benefit to listen.
Yeah. Stream audio. Okay. This is the song, or one of them.
hmm
Oh, this is one of the songs called Goodbye Temptation.
Yeah.
I used to dance with trouble till the break of dawn, trying to fill that hole with what was gone. Now I'm shouting hallelujah with a brand new tone, cause the spirit in my soul and took me home. Ain't no whiskey stronger than grace. Ain't no woman take his place. No, I done traded my shame for praise, and I'm never looking back. in that Dale tonight. But he brought me back into the light. My hands up high, my soul's restored. Praise the Lord.
Okay, that's all. Let me play.
Okay.
Now, one post I saw against this was by Forrest Frank, saying that this is not biblical, this is not Christian at all, because it is AI, so there is no soul.
Yeah.
Now,
I watched that one too.
yeah. And then there is another one that I saw. I forgot the name of the artist, but he's also a Christian artist. And he did a response to Forrest Frank's response, saying that it's kind of not right to say it has no soul because there is a person behind the AI that still made the song, whether it be writing it or giving the prompts to say, hey, make it this style, or provided a voice so that way he can sing it or so and so. Now, I do agree with this guy and I disagree with Forrest Frank, because from what I know about using AI to make music, you still need to provide it prompts and or lyrics. So to say AI has no soul wouldn't be too far out there, but AI right now isn't smart enough to make its own stuff without human prompting it. So I understand, like, some people would say, like, oh, we gotta not use AI because it's replacing artists, whether it be drawing, singing, all that stuff. I understand, like, why you dislike it in that regard. But if it's used as a tool mainly by a lot of people, and the person behind this AI could not be able to sing, probably doesn't have any musical skills, right? But he's using AI to help get his message across, or some of the songs he probably written. I don't know too much about it right now. I would have to research more about behind the person who's making this. And I just wanted to say too that, like, I disagree saying that this has no soul, because I know for a fact there is someone behind it to make it. What are your thoughts, Zaph?
I'll put it this way. It depends on how he wrote it. Because
Okay.
you can have AIs that can write lyrics for you.
Mhm.
Like completely, like 0 to 100 in like seconds.
That's true,
By
yeah.
just saying, make me lyrics with, like, you could do, for example, make me lyrics as based on the Holy Spirit. It can
Mhm.
write it up. Like, there's some that have evolved so much that they can come up with
Yeah.
their own concepts on their own but not everyone gets to see those because they're not willing to shell out the money for those AIs.
Mm.
Because the more advanced ones can comprehend that, or you can make one yourself through various different AI tools that could do it or do that. As a person who has dabbled in AI personally, like, for
Mhm.
example, my model has had some AI, was an AI base, and I modified it.
Mhm.
And I used a program called Comf UAI, which is a modular program that you can take different various modules. You can actually write the modules yourself too if you want something more
Mhm.
customized. If you're capable, if you're well versed in programming.
Yeah.
Um, but it's a little more advanced AI that you can put together different modules to try to come up with an output. There's ones for writing prompts. There's ones for AI generation or image generation. So depending on how he did it, I mean, not to say there's the music doesn't have a soul. I can't really judge on personally, but I could see the reasoning behind it based on based on like it depends on the skill level they did. If they just grabbed a random program that was already pre-made
Hmm.
that can already write lyrics, then there's not really much soul involved. You just click the button and you did it, and it just the program did it itself. Now, if
Hmm.
you spent time because you were having a um, specific output of a music, uh, the music was written, like you're trying to specifically reach a specific audience and you have intention behind it, then and you put effort into making like editing the outcome of the AI, then it could have soul because you're trying to be intentional with it. It's
Okay.
depending on the creator's heart who made these songs.
Yeah.
If his intention, it's like in the Bible. What's our heart posture? And I don't know. I without interviewing this guy personally, I don't know his heart posture for the project of these songs he's doing. So if it was you and I would and we prayed about it, seeked God, wrote the lyrics with
Hmm.
God intended effort, then yes. Now I feel like, but we do have someone who is a friend who has written his own lyrics and just used AI to make his intro.
Yes.
Our friend Joker actually made his own intro through AI,
Hmm.
but he wrote the song himself and
Yeah.
then just mixed the beat based off of things he loved, like uh,
Yeah. He did.
cowboy beat, like the cowboy bebop intro, but he made it Christian.
Hmm.
He didn't steal it. I'm gonna say this: he did steal the cowboy bebop intro sound. He just mixed the different little sounds using or different sound beats he wanted
Yeah.
to
To make his own style.
create to make his own style. He just was inspired by it.
And anybody who disagrees with that, honestly, then you got to speak out against DJs because they do the same thing.
True. Okay. Here's the thing: a lot of music that is in the music industry is not really stealing. I mean, it is already like people have libraries of sound bites that they can just mix together and
Yeah.
put together. And AI
Hmm.
is kind of similar to that.
Yeah.
They just generate a sound that based off of information they were put in. So it's like
That's true. Yeah.
it's not really that much different
Hmm.
unless you specifically use the data of someone who has a voice. Then I don't know. That's kind of getting the moral problem there, but
Yeah.
everything is a recording at the end of the day. Everything's information.
Yeah.
Just how you use that information.
Everything gets digitized, uploaded, shared, download. It becomes part of the whole system where people can take a bit from it, make their own using it with or without AI. I mean, I still really believe like AI right now is just not smart enough for what people are complaining about. Do I think their complaints are valid? Yes, because it is being pushed, it is being used in regards to somewhat replacing humans at certain things while also being used as a tool to help humans at certain things. But it is not smart enough for us to worry about it. But we should still
It's getting
keep an eye on
okay.
it.
It has been getting more and more advanced since the initial public. Well, AI has been already been in the works for a long time. I think
It has, yeah.
I remember I remember seeing a documentary that actually Robert Downey Jr. was being the host of, and they were showcasing various different AI projects. And at that time, AI wasn't as public as it became now, like as commercial. It was
Hmm.
more it was more behind the scenes science projects where various different scientists were working on uh, neural networks I remember one of the episodes was showcasing science or a programmer who was starting from like created a program and he wanted to start from the infant stage and teach it like a like a newborn child, which was a very interesting project. It was very complex and it mimicked the learning capability of a infant. And his thought and process behind is like teach it or create the program to be able to learn like an infant child. And he thinks the neural network will develop into something more human like um, as years go on. It's a very lengthy project, and from the way he's doing it.
Hmm.
But I will say this though, out when since it became public for like public use in was it 2020 when
Mm,
Chat GPT became more popular?
from what I remember, it was when I saw it became more popular to the point, or more popular, and when I started using it was around 2024, I think, like early 2024,
Um,
or was it
would
late
I think
2024? I think it might have been late or mid. I want to say around 2024. It became no, that's wrong. Because I remember
what
using it a lot in 2024 for school.
ChatGPT first came out because I know like 3.5 ChatGPT, it just everyone started using it since 3.5. Oh, I'm completely and utterly wrong. It came out, the 3.5 became public in 2022, November
In
2022.
2022. Okay.
I knew it was close to the end of the year, but yeah, since that publicate like free use for everyone to use, OpenAI opened it for everyone to use. It just boomed since then. I mean, it started it started like catalyst for AI imaging. I know there was already like some programs already out there before, but they were just so like they were um, they were generating like images that were
Hmm.
very pixely, mutant,
Yeah.
melted looking thing. I know that was before 2022 because I was messing with it in I think 2021. I think the earliest time I messed with it was 2019 when there was just like, oh, this is kind of cool. I remember Markiplier was messing with it for a video and like, oh, this is kind of cool.
Mm.
Neural networks were being played around with, I think, since the earliest I remember is 2016. Because there were some
Yeah.
like little tiny games you could play that like um you could which also another Markiplier game he was trying out. What he was trying out this project game looking thing that um it was a simulator type where you're trying to build a kind of a robot that would get past a obstacle.
Yeah. I seen that
And
video.
yeah, and it would keep going thousands of iterations of it until it figured out how to get through it on its own.
Hmm. Yeah.
Kind of like an early little simulator for those who are like maybe not too into programming that, hey, I want to try this out and see how a neural network works.
Hmm.
And so it's like it was a very cool little thing. So yeah. And so um years later we have all the chat GPTs, we have the what was the most famous art AI that diffusion that then developed into millions of other things like Flux and all that, which Flux was kind of the groundbreaking, like first one that had like the most realistic looking generations.
Yeah.
That was just the cleanest. And then you're like today I just was like watching like a AI video that someone was doing for Incredibles. The video, the imagery is getting better and better, at least smoother and smoother. So it is getting closer and closer to be like AI is kind of getting better, but the thing is though, not everyone sees the behind the scenes. So it could
Yeah.
be the thing like some people who do a- digital art have adopted AI and they just use it for productivity to to accelerate their work. So they generate something and then they use their art skills to make it look super clean and then say, "Oh, it's AI." But at the same
Yeah.
time, you're manipulating the image yourself.
Mm.
So I think some of the hysteria is people are seeing how good this is based off of also artists messing with it themselves
Yeah.
is an input.
And it's only going to get better. I mean, AI is only going to get better with this push for it, and then everybody feeding it all the information because it does collect. I have no doubt it does collect.
Google
And
and
yeah,
search engines
uh-huh.
do it all the time. So
Yeah, Google, Firefox. I could be wrong about Firefox, but I know Google, Meta, or Facebook. Um, they a lot of people don't care or don't know that they still grab your information and use it to train their AI. Like they plainly say it in their terms of service or user policy or something like that. One of those two things,
mhm.
which is one thing I don't like about AI, because being used to invade my privacy. That's what I don't like. But being used for creative purposes, that I don't mind too much, because it's regular people using it to be creative, to express themselves with art, music, voice changing or whatnot. A lot of people are gonna have a lot of opinions, and I know it's gonna stay split. Like, oh, AI is okay, or no, AI is bad, and we gotta get rid of it. But for me, AI is okay in regard to using it to be creative. Using it for malicious purposes, no.
Well, yeah, let's explore that avenue for a second. It's like, to be honest, as a person who's in both camps, who
Mhm.
has like has some computer experience and art experience, it's like if you look at it from a perspective of like what you said, art and creativity, it's like it's the nerds way of being able to catch up with the artists now because they like I know programming.
Mhm.
Know how to input information to tell a program that, oh yeah, I need this type of thing, and this type of thing.
Yeah.
Like for example, okay, object example is, I need a starry sky in the evening or
Mhm.
something like that. And it would generate that, and then like they can use that, and if they also have some basic art skills, they can change it to whatever they need and be able to put it on what like I don't know, be a screensaver, be a banner they need for some type of project, and for like graphic design. It's definitely a tool in my opinion that kind of evens the playing field for those who have creative minds but don't have the creative talents.
Yeah.
But we talked about all the things AI is capable of. What do we want to say from a biblical perspective though?
Hmm. From a biblical perspective, if you're using it, because I do think that if you are using AI as a way to have a connection of some kind to God, I would say don't do that, because AI can, from like experience, AI can be biased based on what you give it and what you tell it to do and to say. And AI can be used to even mislead people. There's this one lady that goes around TikTok who's an apologist for Islam, and she uses ChatGPT to prove her points. And ChatGPT agrees with her all the time. I don't think there's a video where it disagrees with her in some way, but it agrees with her every time she asks it a question, and it agrees to her bias for Islam. And there was a response made by, I think his name is Mr. B. Yeah. So the Instagram profile is called Red Pen Logic with Mr. B. He made a response video to her stuff saying how AI is not a good source to go to for anything like that. And what's the word? He also gave an example using ChatGPT that agreed with him with all the questions he gave. So to use AI in the sense to find or have a connection of some kind, I would say don't use it like that because of that reason. It'll be biased depending how you give it information and what you ask of it. And if you're using it as guidance, I would also say don't. Because if you're using it as guidance in order to develop, because if you're using it as a study tool, right? I don't think that's too bad. Because you can use, like for me, sometimes I use Grok to look up a Bible verse when I can't remember what it is, or to give me some history behind some certain things from the Bible. If you're using it to research stuff, I don't think that's too bad. But if you're using it to explain things to you or to break things down, I would be careful with that because it might give you either wrong information or it'll feed into your bias, which is not good. Because then you're not able to, you're basically replacing the Holy Spirit with a man-made creation.
Yeah, I mean, to add some scripture to that and in a different perspective at the moment.
That's a good
But
verse.
I will, while I'm looking that up, I'll talk about the alternate. Personally, I would not use AI for research because it has been proven so many times that you can type in one thing and then it gives you an output, and then you can completely change its output by telling it, but like telling that like Caesar didn't kill or didn't
That's true, yes.
Caesar didn't give the order to kill Jesus or Jesus or something like that. It's like there can be a lot of biases. God,
No, that's a good point you bring up because that is true. You can also twist it to twist history in your favor.
and also that I've noticed for the Google one.
The Google AI?
Yeah, I've used it a couple times. There's a Google AI that mixes it or like helps you in search engines. So from what I've noticed, it has probably maybe 80 to 90% accuracy, give or take. But the problem is it also, when it's searching, it mixes articles together into its result. So it's like it will say one thing, one article says mixed with another, which depending on which articles you're reading, some people have a false bias, some people have a biblical foundation answer and stuff like that.
And then we also, like I said before, AI can be biased depending how you tell it and how you program it as well. Because I don't know if you remember a while ago. I think maybe in 2023 or
Hmm.
2024. I think it might have been in 2023. I would have to
Probably was
look it up real quick.
2023.
I want to say it was 2023. Uh, there was a very heavy split on, no, not a split, but there was a very vocal and loud um dispute between two sides, like the conservatives and the left, or the right and the left, basically, um, in regards to racism and history, all that jazz. To the point where I think it was the Google AI. It wasn't called Gemini yet, but it was a Google AI, and the people at Google trained this AI to be inclusive, quote unquote inclusive, to when you tell it to give you an image or to generate an image of any historical figure, like the like the not my favorite one, the one that was popular was people asked this Google AI to generate an image of what George Washington looked like, and it gave them a black George Washington. Like
Yeah, I think I remember that.
yeah, and then people would generate images of Native Americans. It would give them black Native Americans. It even gave them, I think, a black Asian person from history, or a black Asian person because of asking to generate an image of Asian people. And
Uh,
that's also the thing in regards to AI. AI is still a program, and it can give its own bias because it was programmed by someone with a bias. So that's also something you got to
mhm.
be careful when researching, which is something that you brought up, Zaph, because it can be changed depending how it is trained.
This is why my English teacher, when we were doing research papers, was saying don't use Wikipedia
Yeah,
because Wikipedia
is
is an open source,
an open
um,
source, yeah. And it
open
is,
source website.
yeah, and it can be
Open.
edited by anybody with an account.
That's like this is why she's like, like, and it feels like a lot of people keep forgetting this little teaching they learned in
AI,
either
I mean,
high school or
yeah,
college.
Wikipedia is not a what's the word?
Hmm.
A reliable source at all.
True.
Don't
And
trust it.
AI shouldn't be either.
And AI, yeah, okay. I do agree. AI
Yeah.
shouldn't be a reliable source because it can be biased depending
And
who makes it, what you've trained it on, yada yada.
I know this might be a slight tangent, but this is something I've noticed on the internet is people don't have their own, like, people don't do the research to double check like what they're saying because they tend to not look up the information. They just go with what someone, their friend, or what their governor is saying,
Hmm.
or what a celebrity is saying, and it's like that's the same with AI.
Yeah.
Look up sources. Like if you're going to use AI for research, look up sources, do the legwork, guys,
Yes.
because that's how you become a better, well-learned person is doing your research.
Yes.
Always do your research.
Hmm.
But I did find that scripture I was talking about earlier.
Okay, go
It's
for it.
Exodus, and it's in King James, and this feels more fitting for it. Thou shalt not have no other gods before me. Thou shalt not have unto thee any graven images or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth. Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them nor serve them, for I, the Lord thy God, am a jealous God, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the child unto the third generation and fourth generation of them that hate me. I will also read in another version because hey, sometimes plainer words work great. But
Yeah.
I'll do NIV. So for those who want a more clear one, we will do this one too, or more modern English. It says, "You shall not have other gods before me. You shall not make for yourself an image in the form of anything in heaven or on the earth beneath or in the waters below. You shall not bow down to them or worship them. For I, the Lord your God, am a jealous God, punishing the children for the sin of the parents to the third generation and fourth generation of those who hate me." And to kind of circle back, it's like if you're using, like Sweep said earlier, for spiritual connection or guidance, in a way, you are kind of trying to replace the natural process that God created, which is coming to Him, or at least talking to someone from a that he or talking to a pastor or a a accountability partner. You're replacing the process with a
Mhm.
machine.
Yeah, and then you also got to remember that AI does not have experience. It doesn't have human experience compared to when you speak to someone. Like when you're struggling with a certain type of sin, there's someone you can connect to who has gone through that already, and they can help you by being your accountability partner, by walking with you through your walk. Unlike AI, which will just give you steps and this and that. Like even it's not even good for people to follow influencers because they might not be genuine in their guidance to help you overcome something. Because yeah, I would say like more than likely they're just trying to sell you a product that probably doesn't work, so they can make money, and you are out of like what $100 some because they would like to sell that type of stuff expensive. Are there good?
Mhm.
Are there actually like influencers that are genuine? Yes, but they are a little harder to find because they're genuine. Sometimes the algorithm in YouTube, in Instagram, don't like it. I couldn't say the word. It doesn't like that, so it pushes a lot of fake people because
Oh,
it it's easier and it's people like that more because it feeds into their desires. It feeds their
well,
heart.
they also push people who are making the money.
That too. These
And
people
I
spend
mean,
more money to advertise themselves.
I mean, there are a lot of definitely some authentic people out there. I definitely would say this is why Christian, like, good way to tie this in, VTubing.
Exactly.
There's definitely a lot of good Christian VTubers out there who are genuine. There's like, I mean, I like some that I can think of right now, like people like Melinda or Catherine.
Hmm.
They 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 put in their hearts into what they do, and
Yeah.
they like Catherine will always. I mean, take some time, but when she can, but because she's being asked a lot, but she does like to take the time and help people out. If she knows something, she definitely will take the time and help you out with something. Melinda, shows that she has a huge heart for the Lord through her Bible studies and through her content she creates.
Hmm.
It's
And
like,
yeah,
and you can tell that they're authentic, that God
yeah,
is
that's what I was
like
gonna say.
shining through them in the ways He created them.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. Like you can tell because it's what they do and how they do it. You can tell a lot based on what they do and how they do it because some people can twist words and they can seem nice, but even if they're nice, quote unquote, doesn't mean that they're Christian. There's that. Let's see. What else has AI been all the rage? I do know that there's this whole thing about Black Ops 7 using AI or Call of Duty in general for the past few games using AI. And the way they used it, one of the ones that kind of like sparked the fire was for, I think, the one that took place during World War. What was it called? I forgot already. Call of Duty.
Yeah, that's not my expertise. They don't have. I think the only Call of Duty I've ever played was mobile.
Not Warzone.
On the PC.
World War? No. Was it Vanguard? It might have been
There's a
Vanguard.
lot of World War ones.
Yeah. Was it Vanguard?
Do you remember the year it came out?
No, because I stopped following Call of Duty in that regard. I usually pop back into it when somebody talks about it. I think it was Vanguard. Specifically zombies. There was a picture of a zombie Santa Claus, and a lot of people. No, I don't think it was Vanguard. But a lot of people pointed out that this zombie Santa Claus had 6 fingers on one hand. And a lot of people were like, hey, that's AI. What the heck? And a lot of people didn't like the fact that Call of Duty was using, or Activision was using AI to do a lot of stuff, because these people make a lot of money and they have artists. They have in-house artists for sure to do this art. But even more recently for Black Ops 7, a lot of people have noticed that they were using AI to generate those little banners for players. Cold War. I think it was Cold War. But they were using AI to generate player banners. And you can tell it's AI because AI seems to use the same style of art when trying to make anime. Like, it looks very Studio Ghibli-ish. Like, in that regard, I don't know why they're using AI. Like, I would understand if you're using it to make placeholders or to optimize some things if it's something super big. But if you're using it to completely replace artists because you want to save money, I disagree with that. But like a good way I would say use of it was in Arc Raiders. Arc Raiders came about because they used AI voices, even though they hired voice actors. The way they used AI in Arc Raiders, Zaph, was they had the voice actors say words like, "Oh, there's healing here," or "Oh, there's material over here." Like, they had the actors say that, but they used AI, and the actors signed off on it. Right? They still got paid to have their voices used. And they used AI to clone their voices so that you can. So in game, no matter where you point, there's a variation of what they say. And there's a lot of stuff that you can ping in the game. So they used AI in order to help the voice actors give variation to pointing out different material and different locations in a variety of different ways. Like, AI in that regard, I think is okay. I believe it's okay. But to replace artists because you want to save money, no, I disagree.
That might have been a game back in 2023, because I remember in 2023 also Wizards of the Coast got called out for one of the new books they were creating. I think it's Bigsby's Presents Glory of the Giants. And they got called out because they had image leaks of the book they were making, and they were called out creating AI because some of the giants, I think the same thing that you were talking about for Call of Duty, was some of the giants had more than 5 fingers. I think they had 6 in some of them, and then some of the art just looked not like any of the normal art Wizard of the Coast was known for. They were. This is probably after the not the terms of service, but they were rewriting the open source. This was after the open source backlash people were complaining about, because when they were switching to 2024 rules, they were planning to make it that only their chosen third party creators could create, because yeah, and a lot of like home brewers had a lot of backlash, because like they were like, this if this our new terms of service or of the Wizards of the Coast like games, I can't remember the actual name of it, but it basically was uh it basically cost them a lot of money during that time, because a lot of people were like, oh, starting to drift over to other games at the other tabletop games at the time. So then it kind of went into like they were looking for corners to cut on, or cut corners on money, because there was a lot of financial things going on. I think I can't remember it for the company when they transitioned into Hasbro.
Yeah.
I think yeah. So it's like they were cutting corners, and people called them out on it, and they're like, "Oh, there will not be AI in the new book. We'll fix this." And
Shouldn't have
because
been there to begin with.
well, and also Wizards of the Coast basically will always, if enough of their fan base complains enough, they will always pivot back to pivot to what the fans want. Which actually, that's what the head game designer talked about before he stepped down. That's what Unearthed Arcana is for. Is they want, if you want something, they will listen to the feedback immensely, because they go through like a 60 to 70 margin. If like something has enough of a 70% vote, they will change it based on that vote. So yeah, so it's like AI has had some bad, like 2023 seemed to be like the huge AI backlash year
Yeah.
for information.
And it's still getting a lot of backlash when there's anything regarding it in anything creative that's made within gaming, within browsers. I think another one that came out pretty recently, like maybe a month or 2 months ago, was YouTube's AI. YouTube has an AI that now they use to flag and take down channels based on what it's told to look for. So, like lately, I think it was pretty recent, like maybe a few weeks ago, people have noticed that YouTube has taken down a lot of YouTube channels because it was struck down by their AI. And some of these channels have not come back up because YouTube, I'm just going to say, YouTube is lazy to actually have someone review a lot of these strikes. And it's also very, what's that word? I can't think of the word. But it's not very smart of YouTube to do this in regards to moderation, because this AI is going around striking down many videos and many channels, to the point where YouTube even has an AI respond on you on Twitter when you reach out to them, which is also very stupid and very dumb, because the post itself says that it's using AI to respond to you. I don't know if you heard anything like that, Zaph.
I've heard, actually, that's been a problem for a long time.
Yeah.
I'll say this. It's sounds like it's gotten worse. But
Yeah,
YouTube has had an AI for moderation for
a long while. Yeah.
I want to. Well, okay. I don't remember when it initially did it, but I know at least in the last several years,
Hmm.
it's been a complaint by content creators all the time. It's like a video gets flagged, and because the AI was being super aggressive,
Hmm.
it mellowed out a little bit for a while, and then I guess they added some new information into the AI now that it's flagging channels, not just videos anymore,
Yeah.
from what you're
So
saying.
yeah,
And
what happens is that from what people have said is that YouTube will flag a video and give them the YouTube strike, right? And sometimes it hits channels because it finds more than 3 videos or more than 2 videos, strikes them, and then it hits the 3 strike policy of YouTube and deletes their channel.
yeah, so
So
it's worse.
so yeah, the AI that YouTube is using has gotten worse, and they're using it for customer service, which is not good. I would say that using AI for customer service is a bad move because
It is.
you still need human interaction in order to understand humans, because AI will only do what it's trained, and if it hits a problem that it wasn't trained on or doesn't know what to do, it'll either freak out or do something entirely different. Like me and my dad were talking about it one time, how what department what was it? It was, I think, the department that does the social security payments and stuff. A lot of elderly folk who are on social security called this department to get some help. This department uses AI for its customer service when on the phone, and they brought this up in a, not court, but they brought it up in a meeting or in a session, and somebody said that, look, this AI is working because we're having 99 customer satisfaction, but that's not the case. The case is that these people are asking AI questions, and the AI doesn't understand these questions and keeps leading them the wrong way, and these people would hang up out of frustration or to restart the call, and the AI will count that as a satisfied customer, even if they didn't actually get the help they were looking for.
Yeah. Well, this is okay. YouTube has, even before AI, has had a contact problem for a long time. It's like you had to be like, it's the problem is the platform, not
It
just the
is.
people, but the
Yeah.
platform is there's too many channels for people to moderate. That's why they're trying to use AI to fill those gaps.
Hmm.
Because unless you're like a big celebrity like Markiplier or Jacksepticeye with a
Yeah.
connection through the
Hmm.
company
Yeah.
that they
They
were
they all
given
have
because
they all have a
they're
YouTube agent. They've said this. They have
yes,
a
they
guy
all
at
have a
YouTube.
YouTube. They have a YouTube agent. Those agents are there's a limited amount of those, so they're not going to moderate like a small channel or someone who's mid
Hmm.
until they probably break to 1 million viewers, or I mean 1 million followers, or not
Yeah.
followers, subscribers. I'm so used to Twitch algorithm, man. So it's like they don't have enough staff.
Yeah.
It's like Google's a big company, but here's the thing: the users of YouTube outnumber the company
Hmm.
because YouTube is global,
Hmm.
and depending on how many content creators there are probably several thousands to probably hundreds of thousands, maybe.
Yeah.
Who knows?
So yeah, there's a reason for them to use AI, but the way they're using it and the way they're implementing it is not good. From all
Yeah,
the stuff
because
that we've seen that happening on YouTube, and especially with a lot of these, with some of these game developers, especially these big ones, and like the main one that has been called out multiple times and still doesn't seem to learn their lesson is Activision, is Call of Duty. That's like the main one. There are a few other ones, but Activision is like the big one that everybody is constantly calling out.
I used to love Activision too because of Skylanders.
Yeah, Activision still has good games, but when it comes to their moneymakers like Call of Duty, they've been dropping the ball.
It's probably just. I mean, probably they just need to focus on a new game. It seems like every time they find like a new thing. Like, for example, Skylanders were great when they first came out. They were great. Like,
I wanted Skylanders. Sadly, I didn't manage to get it, but I did want it. It did look like a fun game.
it was. I still also have a lot of my figures and the games. It was a good concept of game where you bring a toy to life, and several of the games were great. They kind of start dropping the ball after like the fourth or fifth game because it's like they're running out of ideas. Probably why they're running.
Yeah, they're running
Like
out of
Call of Duty.
ideas. Yeah, it's like they're running out of ideas, but also are finding a way to make them the most money, which is why they still do Call of Duty. And it seems like the quality of these games have gone down over time because they're focusing more on microtransactions and little things that will entice their consumer base to spend money on, which is like through cosmetics, like the microtransactions we talked about, as well as like they overhype, I guess, the game, and then so people can pre-order and buy it, which then hits hard for the consumer because they find that it's not as good as they hoped.
I mean, what they should do is focus on these new little indie companies and make games like them.
Yeah.
Because, like, Repo, for example, is a fun game.
Yeah.
That was like, that they even got an award this year
for
that game.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, and they said, like, thank you for getting us out of bankruptcy. They were in a tight spot.
Yeah, they were in a tight spot.
And it's like, but they made a great game and they keep developing new updates.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure about this latest one personally, but
yeah,
hopefully they'll balance it out at some point.
Yeah. I think the main thing for me is that games became too corporate because a lot of these big developers, not so much indies, but a lot of these big developers that already have an established foothold in the gaming industry, they have board members that they need to please, and that is like the main thing that causes the quality of games to go down. Because me and my dad were talking about all this stuff too, because they focus on making the most money to appease board members. And for like, I have with the highest, I forgot the word, but I have full belief and trust in that belief that these corporate people know nothing about gaming. Because all they think about is money. And when you think about money and how to make more of it, you lose passion.
I mean, I'll put it this way. Like Disney, like any of the big corporations, of course, Disney's now hurting from their bad decisions.
Yes.
The big corporations that have this mindset of, we can try some of these more innovative stuff, like they're trying out the AI, they're trying out stuff to try to make their games more relevant. And they thought, oh, AI is popular, we'll put it in the game.
That too. They're following, like, they're following trends that are still in early development.
and they're trying to, and they think, oh, we have enough money. If we have losses, we can have acceptable losses with it, and it's like, really though, it's like, to be honest, focus AI on stuff like NVIDIA. Actually, we can go touch there later, but like they should focus more on developing that instead of like just slap it into the game. It's new. It's AI. If we use the
Yeah.
buzzword AI or put something that might be AI, or wait, people don't like it anymore, we'll hide this now.
Yeah.
It's like,
And then speaking of Disney and AI, did you hear that Disney now wants to allow AI generated content by their consumers on the Disney Plus app?
wait a minute. So wait. Talk about, so by their consumers, meaning they're gonna
Yeah,
put people
their
put
customers can
consumer
generate, yeah, the
videos.
consumer AI generated content on Disney Plus.
No, thank you. Who knows what people will do?
Who knows what they'll make, and then what is it? They're not even gonna. I'm pretty sure they're not even gonna want to pay the people who make that stuff, and they'll use it themselves to make money, which is very, very dumb in my opinion, and will completely fail. Like they'll backtrack it. I'm gonna say they'll
Yep.
backtrack it. I'm gonna predict they'll backtrack it before they can even release it or release it on Disney Plus.
Disney, listen to your consumers. If you hear this, listen to your consumers. We don't want any of this. We want good quality entertainment.
Yes,
We want we want stuff that George Lucas came up with for Star Wars. We want stuff that Stan Lee started off with Marvel.
hmm
We want the classic writing style of Disney
we want.
before the mess ups.
Yeah, we want good, complicated stories, man. We like that stuff, even if some people say that it's too complicated. They still like it. Because it not only does it make your brain work, but it also captivates you because it can relate to the people. That's why Spider-Man is so popular.
Yeah, and like push more characters like like Miles Morales. He's a great Spider-Man.
Yeah,
Also,
don't
great optics.
exactly. Like a lot of people love the Spider-Verse movies. We're still waiting on
Yeah,
the third one. When are you gonna give it to
I
us, Sony?
I still haven't watched the second one because I wanted to wait for the third one so I could watch them in order or watch them without have to wait.
Exactly. Like give us stories like those, man. Stop trying to push a dumb message that majority of the people are just like, ugh, why is this here?
You also want to know, back to the complicated thing?
Huh, tell me.
It's rewatchability.
That
Complicated is
too.
rewatchable
Exactly.
because if you miss something the first time and then you watch it again, like, I didn't realize that was that, and I now have that connection.
Exactly.
So it's like, make content that's
Mhm.
rewatchable.
You want to know a good example? K-pop Demon Hunters.
To be fair,
That
that storyline's not that complicated though, but
it's
it's the
not that
music.
complicated, but it's the music, it's the characters. They're all just so well developed. The movie has such good rewatchability because of the music. There's
True, and
something there is something that every movie has that wants you that entices people to want to watch it again, whether it be music, characters, actors, sometimes jokes, or basically the story. Like you want to see the story again, or you want to hear a good story. You know this movie's good, and you put it on again for the 100th time.
I mean, it also probably what's driving it the most is it's also made by several Christians in the writing to the music.
Mhm.
That's like, there's definitely God in it, and if God is in something, it's
It just
blessed.
works. And another thing too is that this movie was very hands off by Netflix and Sony. They let their people just do it. Why? Because they didn't think it was going to be good enough. I mean, look at Shrek. It was the same way. Shrek was used as a punishment for a lot of these artists because they didn't think that movie was going to do well. Lo and behold, we're getting a fifth movie, a sixth movie,
A fifth movie.
fifth movie, and
I
then
mean,
now corporate got their hands, or not corporate, but now this company is hands on this fifth movie to the point where it got delayed because people already guessed the plot.
I guess so. You could guess the plot, to be honest.
Yeah, but through that, I also didn't like the design that they did for Shrek. They changed him way too much.
I mean, I didn't really have too much of a complaint of it. It's like, is it not as well shaded as the old ones? Because for some reason, people stop using shading
That
in
too,
art styles
but
for
it
like cartoons and things.
yeah, that too. But you also gotta like look at it like a lot of people were like, oh well, the technology got better since then. And but
Nope.
like my point is like, then why did they keep Shrek the same style in the second movie, third movie, and the fourth movie? If technology gets better, gets quickly better, why did they keep the style the same throughout 1, 2, 3, and 4?
During those years, the style didn't, or the
The
technology
technology,
didn't go as fast as it is now.
I know, but the technology that we had for the first movie was not as good as the technology we had for the second movie. Because the
Or the
first movie
fourth.
came what, in the late 90s? Like 98, 99?
Oh, this first movie was, I think, early 2000s.
Was it? Okay. Well, the technology for the first movie is drastically different from the technology we had for the second movie. Because these movies take what, years to make? Because of technology as well?
I think Shrek 1 and 2 didn't have that much of a gap between. Oh, yeah, Shrek 1 and 2 didn't have that much of a gap.
Okay.
It's like
Well
only a
then
3-year gap.
okay, then I'm being stupid. What was the gap between 2 and 3 then?
3 years.
3 years? And then
And
3
then
and
4
4?
as well. 3 years.
Okay.
They have a pattern of 3 for the Shrek.
Okay. Okay, well then my argument is kind of out the window now, but still, my point still stands. Technology gets better still. So the technology we had for 1 is dressed. I'm just gonna shift the goalposts. The technology we had for 1 was very different from the technology we had for 3. And then what's
But
the
art,
huh?
there's only a 6-year gap. There's only a 6-year gap, though. The art style wouldn't have changed that much.
It doesn't matter. It still would have changed in some regard, but it didn't. Everything pretty much stayed the same style.
I
And
mean,
then
okay, I'll put it this.
go for it.
Okay, go ahead. Okay, I'll put it this way though: 2010 to 2025, there is a huge gap of time between that, where technology and art styles have drastically shifted.
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of in like the last 5 to 10 years, for some reason, people are using a lot of lighter colors. Because I was watching VeggieTales on Netflix, where it looked like the the like Bob and Larry were on copious amounts of sugar instead of their normal art style from DreamWorks, or not DreamWorks, Big
Mhm.
Ideas, where they used colorful, very colorful colors
Mhm.
instead of using like some of the shadings we grew up with, like in the Larry Boys and in the
Mhm.
Jonah and the Whale. It's like Jonah
Mhm.
and the Whale was higher product or higher production value than what we had on Netflix.
That's true.
But like it's more of the art style has changed. Technology, it's like it's just higher definition for like digital art, like in a digital art space.
Yeah.
And like, but it's like they must have somehow lost the original artist for Shrek, or the original artist retired, because definitely it's not the same artist. If it was the same artist, they would have
Yeah.
like looked back at their work and be like, "Oh yeah, I remember I did this, this, and this for that."
But the style could have been the same. Like, I'm pretty sure they still had files for these models, and they didn't have to make an entirely new model. Maybe update the detail on it, but they didn't have to change
Here's the
my
thing.
boy so much.
Here's the thing, though. Would the files still be like files like types have changed so much? Would the files
That's
still be
true.
available to be opened?
That's true. That's true.
They would have had to probably convert it or something. I don't know. I don't know like art files back then to now,
Hmm.
but there's probably some type
Yeah.
of process they have to do. But they could have. They had the money to do it. I will agree with
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. They have the money to do it.
Also, they could have lost the files. Who knows? They
Who
might not
knows?
be admitting to that.
Yeah. Let's see. Where else is AI? Oh, I remember you mentioned something about Nvidia and the push for AI. What
Oh
are your
yeah, Nvidia.
thoughts? Yeah, what are your thoughts right now of RAM prices and SSD prices going up because these companies are pushing everything into AI?
To be well, the thing I wanted to talk about it. I'll talk about that. And then we'll go to the next thing of Nvidia.
Okay.
Um, as a content creator and on a budget, who is needing parts for like game storage and stuff, and the prices are getting higher, it's like this is crazy. As
Yeah.
it's making it. Here's the thing: it's like something that used to be like a hobby for some, like for like let's say for casual gamers who are not streamers,
Yeah.
who want to play games on their computer.
Hmm.
It is hiking up the price for that hobby.
Exactly.
Like, I mean, they hiked up the during COVID when everyone was doing the crypto mining because it's like people were grabbing graphics cards like everywhere. But this is the
Yeah.
new one where it's like it's a new wave again because it's the AI race. Everyone's using AI. Everyone wants equipment for AI, whether
I,
you're a
yeah.
hobbyist or like a big company. They're buying up parts, and the problem is people. What
And it's
happens
these
when people buy up parts? The
prices go up.
resources go down
Hmm.
and prices go up. And
Demand gets high and supply gets low.
the thing is, we haven't figured out alternatives completely yet. There are researches into alternatives, but those might be expensive too, based on how the process is until they figure out a way. Right now,
Yeah.
it's like hard drives technology. Scientists already see that's a dead end technology because it's either they're gonna have to make them bigger and bigger to store more data, or look for alternatives. They are right now, but
Hmm.
it's like anything. So it's like the materials. So it's like it's crazy. RAM, to be honest, RAM's kind of always been kind of like a part. You don't have to have the most powerful RAM to do stuff. You can have like a minimum of 16 and still run well.
Yeah.
But it's good to have more. It's great to have more though, because then you can do more stuff. But
Hmm.
so it's like, yeah, it's crazy. And for streamers like you and me who are on budgets, who are trying to make this a
Trying to upgrade
career
bit by bit.
bit by bit. Luckily, I already did my upgrades before the price hikes, but I still need a hard drive upgrade for like gaming. But it's it's makes it harder for people who are trying to make it as VTuber entrepreneurs. But hopefully, hopefully, right now it's just a temporary boom because they're hopefully going to be
Hopefully it
figuring
is.
out
Yeah.
alternatives or make graphics cards more efficient, that with a new design that it makes it more cost effective, or they provide more cost effective models for the hobbyists and more expensive models for those who are wanting to use AI, that
Yeah.
a boost for AI.
Yeah. Because majority of people are not making PCs to do AI stuff. They're making PCs to play games.
I mean, I want to make a side PC for doing AI renders and stuff, but that's just me.
Ugh, Zaph, you played into their hands, Zaph.
I mean, I am a AI hobbyist. I like using AI just for fun, and it's like there's some stuff I want to use it for.
That's fair. Okay, and then
But
you
it's
wanted
like
to get in.
I'm making the AI.
Yeah.
There, and then oh yeah, the advancements that NVIDIA. I've heard people complain a little bit about the AI. This was like probably early this year, late last year, that NVIDIA has added to their newer graphics cards, AI enhanced graphics,
Hmm.
which, from what I've heard, people complain about is um, it's garbage. It's not
Yeah.
much of an improvement. It's actually some people have compared. I don't know if they fixed it since then. Probably they
Hmm.
have in the next wave or something, but they've complained that it actually kind of makes it look worse, like not as like clear or kind of fuzzy, or have like in some cases developing um second digital, like for example, I think they were looking at a car in Cyberpunk 76, and there was a duplicate bumper when they turned on the enhanced AI, when it doesn't always show, but kind of had a clipping effect that was going on.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about. There was even I think it was a video done by Linus Tech Tips. They were reviewing one of these graphics cards with that AI enhancement tool, and they noticed that there's a lot of, I think they called it ghosting, where it'll also generate frames in between the two frames of the graphics card makes itself, or the graphic card displays itself. And I can't remember what it was called, but it was like a generative AI framing or something like that. And it creates a ghosting effect where the AI predicts where the pixel's gonna end up, and it'll put the pixel in a place, and most of the time it wasn't very accurate. I'm pretty sure it's fixed by now, like they updated that, because this happened I think 2 years ago. Um
Mhm.
but it's in my regard, from what I've seen now, it's still kind of doo-doo, especially if you're gonna use it for competitive gaming, because it'll probably generate a frame and nothing is gonna be in there during that frame. So it'll, like a good example would be like you're playing CS:GO, right? You're using the AI to do that generative frame in between the two actual frames, and you'll shoot, but you'll miss because nothing is practically there. It's just a frame that AI made to make it look seamless as it moves.
Yeah, I did not think about the whole competitive gaming thing. I think we get enough annoyance from like lag that, oh, something wasn't there when we're trying to shoot it.
Hmm.
I
Yeah.
get that.
Yeah, so I would say that if it's used mainly for single player or cinematic experiences, maybe. But seeing how it's still not that good, there's no point into getting it. And if you're gonna use it for competitive gaming, don't, like, at all. It's not reliable.
True. Let me see. Uh, yeah. I mean, yeah, that's just it. It's not reliable.
It's not reliable. And then going further down with Nvidia is really pushing away. I don't know if you've heard, even the CEO of Nvidia talks about pushing away from making graphic cards specifically for gaming and push it more towards AI generation or generative stuff. So like
Yeah.
not to train AI or to build AI. Well, actually no, not to train AI, but to build AI. Like you're going to be using it to make an AI, produce an AI, yada yada, all that stuff.
I mean,
And
yeah,
they're no
I've
longer
heard about them.
yeah, and they're no longer making graphics card for the average gamer, which is their main consumer base, to be honest.
I mean, I think they were developing their own contained unit that people can buy, like
Really?
um, I can't remember what it's called. I don't know if it's released yet, but they were planning on releasing, which was like, I think it's $3,000 or something. Um, a self-contained AI unit you can buy and use yourself to use for AI purposes. And I believe it was being launched this year. I haven't looked into it because I've been too busy focusing on Twitch and stuff. But let me
Hmm.
see. Uh, see, I believe it was like its own self-contained AI computer that you can run anything you want to use AI on it for.
And a graphics card, or is it like a
It
PC
has like its own. It has its own. I believe AI. Let's see. Computer. I believe it was its own computer. Let's see.
Hmm.
Let's see.
I've never heard of this.
I'm looking for it. Give me one sec. I just was reminded about it right now. So yeah, it does make sense. AI or Nvidia's pushing AI. Well, it's because AI is the next biggest thing, so they're going to be pushing it for their products for a while. And AI has been. Oh, wait a minute. The NVIDIA is for local. Here it is. The NVIDIA DGX Spark, I believe it's called. Here it is. It is a. It's an NVIDIA DGX Spark. It is designed for being a self-contained AI computer that's ready to go for AI completely. It is called the NVIDIA DGX Spark. It is a AI supercomputer for for on your desk that you can it's like a mini computer that is designed for high intensity AI things. It has a
Hmm.
12 core, 10 core X925 by I don't know what CPU. I think it's their own built-in CPU. Um, it has pretty much, I'll send the specs over. It pretty much is designed purely for AI and AI. So it's a strong little mini computer, but I don't think you should run it for for long for long periods of time, but depending on how they design the cooling. So it's
Oh.
equipped with a lot of different like I this is probably just the base model, but I bet you can upgrade a lot of the DDR RAM. It's like it has like 128 DD LD LP DDR5 RAM. It has I don't even know what a Cortex. I think the Cortex is their own CPU structure. It
Okay.
uses the Blackwell architecture, which is the architecture they designed for um the fifth or five the 500 or the 5000 generation, um, which is specifically designed for AI structure. So graphics, like generating AI graphics, handling AI generation, which still, it's basically what their labeling is. And this is part of the Blackwell generation type computers they're planning on pulling out. So you're right. They are going towards more AI than gaming. But, something that would be a smart marketing thing they should do is separate that and have like here's the thing. Gamers don't need the most okay, some people do. Some people are people who like high-end graphics. Me, I'm like, I'm okay with 1080p because 1080p still looks nice. So graphics card, they should make graphics cards that are like more cost effective for those who just want a game or might be just a hobbyist in AI instead of just focusing on it completely.
Mm.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense. Mm.
But yeah, Nvidia. I mean, the innovations they've done with AI, to be honest, I like because it kind of feels like they are doing a good job with it instead of just making it gimmicky. They're actually wanting to develop tech for people who want to do research into AI, not
Yeah.
just the hobbyists or not just
Hmm.
the not I mean not just the hobbyists. I mean AI hobbyists are great, but not
Yeah.
just like feeding into the whole machine of um people who are making 3D generated videos that kind of still need work on.
Hmm.
So it's like I think they actually are designing things that are for actual AI research. Like, oh, I'm just realizing another topic we could talk about the medical field.
Oh.
There's actually so many topics you can cover. There's also like the AI VTubers.
Yeah, I think the only one I know about is Beetle. Or the AI
Beetle.
that Beetle made.
There's a couple. I don't remember what they are. There was other people who are working on their own projects too, but kind of turned out to be fake because they were just like, "I'm AI," instead of just being like kind of your persona of sweeps like you're a digital being, but they were like more acting like an AI.
Mm.
But yeah, Beetle is the only one I can think of.
Okay, we can dive into that briefly. What are your thoughts about it in regards to AI being a streamer? Let's do that topic specifically.
Oh, we can actually, yeah, being a streamer, ooh, danger.
Yeah, I personally don't like that idea.
I mean, it is a Beatles. It's like I like though that he is interacting with his model, which is I'm trying to remember her name. Or is Beetle the girl? I thought no, Beetle's the
No,
turtle.
yeah, Vito's the turtle, the developer of the AI.
Nero.
Nero.
Well, he technically has 2 of them now. He has an evil one and a good one.
Oh yeah, he does, right? Yeah.
I like that he is hands-on with it.
Mm.
I if he just let it run like some people might do just to be like its own content creating farm
Mhm.
that they don't have to do work with, then it feels like morally objective. It's like you're just basically creating a
You're making content by making the AI, basically.
you're yeah, I mean, I like the content of someone being there to make the content and you're developing this thing as like a hobby because it started out for him as a hobby and then it just became a whole entire internet sensation. It's like
Mhm.
which is great. It's a good sensation and it's fun seeing the interactions and it's like it's a cool niche.
Yeah.
It's just kind of dangerous if someone who's like similar skills and just like, oh, I'm just going to program an AI to just be a just be a digital entertainer that I don't have to do the entertaining stuff. It does,
Yeah.
and I don't have to do anything other than update its code. And it's like
Yeah.
that's dangerous in my opinion for people who are
Yeah.
wanting to be content creators. Be honest though, the fad might fade because it's like unless someone can develop to be like authentic, because that's what a lot of people look for in a live streamer is authenticity.
Yeah.
They want that reaction of like feeling like they're like being interacted with a real person instead of well, or at least semi-real person who has a digital avatar as like they enjoy the interaction. Now, some people just sit there to vibe, but
Yeah.
It's just it feels more real if you're not an AI.
Okay.
But then you have things like Hatsune Miku, and she's technically the concept of a digital person.
Yeah, but she's specifically not AI because Hatsune Miku is a programmed that is used to make music.
Mhm.
It's basically a music production app called Vocaloid. I mean, that's how we got the group Vocaloid. So she's not specifically AI.
I mean,
Sh
isn't like the whole lore though? She's like a digital girl on the internet.
Yeah, that's her lore. But if you're using Hatsune, if because some people brought
I
this
mean,
argument up too, saying like,
yeah.
oh, well, then what about Miku? She's AI. No,
Well, she's not.
her character is, but she's an application used by actual humans to make music
True.
like a synthesizer.
hmm
So
more, yeah.
yeah,
More my argument is, what if we could get to the point where a Hatsune Miku would become real? What if we got to that point?
to the what
Like
do you mean? Like
like
Hatsune
the
Miku is
lore version.
actual AI now?
No, more like a person or more like an AI inspired by Hatsune Miku, but acts very human like Hatsune Miku.
Well, it's a character though. I would
Yeah.
argue that it's a character
Yeah.
that we have come to see like, oh, she is a digital kind of entity
hmm
that is, I guess, technically lore wise is AI. I would assume,
Lore
but
wise, yeah.
also maybe not so much AI because of all the stuff she interacts with. Like she's collabed with Sonic. She recently did a collab with Pokemon, which is pretty cool. Um, like lore wise, she is an AI. I'm trying to get my argument here. I'm just repeating myself. Uh, I would say that no, if she like actually becomes a character that can think on its own, speak on its own, like an I don't think that's too bad because this character wasn't real to begin with.
So if a character that act like of a okay, so my reason bringing up is it's like Hatsune Miku is a production thing. It's like
Yeah,
she's like any other anime character or like
yeah,
Sonic video game
hmm
character.
hmm
But if we get to a point in AI that characters can act on their own and have their own personalities, and why bring up Hatsune Miku, because she's like the closest like lore in a lore wise of a AI becoming very human
hmm
like if everything develops into something that an AI becomes very human like and is a character, like at that point, is that acceptable, or is that something we should still be wary of as something that would be a digital entertainer?
I think I think we should still be wary of it because it could still be used maliciously, I guess you can say. Um, but I think a majority of people would accept it if it's Miku.
If
You know
it's
what I mean?
Miku, yes.
If it's Miku, I think they would accept it like that because not only is she like advertised to be like that through her lore, but I think it's also it'll make them more, I guess, more money for the company yeah, basically yeah, for the company, and I think it'll be easier for them as well to do events rather than, which I think is like not too good because every time she does do concerts and stuff like that, definitely somebody is in a motion capture suit doing all the movements, all the dancing and stuff like that. Because you can
hmm
tell. You can tell
Hmm.
when it's somebody in a suit versus just animated in a computer. Um,
Yeah.
but I think in that regard, I guess it'll be accepted. I want to say, like, I think we should still be wary of it, but it'll widely be accepted. People might
At
still
that
like
point, you're gonna
make
have
an
an
argument.
AI handler.
Yeah, like to the
It's
point
like
where it's
real.
capable, like hypothetical, like full on hypothetical fiction. Hatsune Miku is an AI that becomes her own being, basically, where she can interact on her own, make her own decisions, all that stuff. I think people wouldn't mind too much because it's Miku. Uh, and I think I would say I would find that acceptable, to be honest, because it's Miku. But that's a good point.
Yeah, it's because she's kind of the acceptable margin. But if it's like, I don't
Yeah,
know, Edward Scissorhands may type thing, probably people would not.
AI Scissorhands is an AI basically. Um, I mean, if you think about it. uh, but I think if it was Miku, it might be acceptable. But if it's something else that's not influential as Miku, I think a lot of people would call it out. Like, what could be a good example? Honestly, I don't think there is any good examples.
There's no other example of a outside of an iconic character right
Yeah,
now.
actually,
There,
no, there is, but it's very different because I don't know if you heard that they made an AI of Stan Lee.
when, why, and how dare they?
Exactly. But I think that's not the same, and it's very different because this was a living person compared to a character that was never a real person. So I don't think you can compare those two very well.
I mean, okay, you could compare it in a way because it is using like someone who is dead, like Stan Lee, who can't really comment on if he's okay with that or not.
Yeah.
Um, as being a AI, because if the AI developed consciousness based off of some parts of information we have on him, the AI
Hmm.
will not be Stan Lee
Yeah.
because it's a recreation. And if the AI works like a human brain, if we
Hmm.
get to that far in the future, the AI will be confused for a second and then start developing its own mental structure and
Yeah.
possibly end up like Ultron.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing too, though, because Ultron was never a real person. It was an AI assistant who gained consciousness. So if let's say that was even possible at all, Hatsune Miku could end up like Ultron as well.
Possibly. Actually, okay, okay, I got like a cool. Okay, have you heard of the TV show called Pantheon?
Yes.
Since we're talking about humans, like developing a brain or developing like a AI based off of a human who actually lived, this one show called Pantheon kind of explores that same concept of human, but it's more in the concept of human uploaded intelligence.
So
The
basically transferring consciousness.
it basically transferred the brain scan of a human.
Also, kind of like making a copy.
It is exactly making a copy.
Okay, well then that's different from uh yeah, that is related, yes. Because if it was uploading consciousness, that would be pretty different because the person is moving from physical to digital.
Yeah, well, it's kind of a weird concept because okay, viewer discretion advised that this it's this point, or listener discretion is advised. The way they did it was they basically used a laser to scan every single layer, and in a way, it was cutting every layer it was scanning the into the machine until essentially the body was brain dead. So it's like
Okay.
it was very graphic.
Okay.
So
So if it's copying, okay, what's the point you're trying to make before I go on?
they were exploring the concept of what it would be like to have a human upload. They called it human uploaded consciousness. Um, in a digital space,
Okay.
and they were exploring that. Um, they were talking about, oh, it's not like one of the people who was in it was a dad,
Hmm.
and who was actually part of the project that developed the technology. Um,
Okay.
basically, the mom was like, it's not the same as him. It can't be him because
Yeah.
it's just a copy.
Yeah.
And when they were interacting with him, it was basically the same person at if he left,
Hmm.
or and they were having conversation, but he was then developing more of a different they were starting to the upload consciousness started to develop their own kind of thoughts and
Okay.
revolution of like versus human versus AI. The
Okay.
problem is they were yeah, so it's like
Okay.
but the
Then
problem they were also
no, go for
yeah,
it. Go for it.
sorry.
No, go for it.
The problem they were also facing in that concept was they were starting to if they overclock themselves, they started to have um neurodegeneration, which part of the programming they of the copy is why they had to have a backup copy of themselves is to reset because of the degrade, or they have to
Okay.
be like in some type of simulation to just be like, oh, so they don't just degrade. So the
Okay.
thing I want to bring up is a program eventually, if we did like a copy of like let's say a cumulative of Stan Lee, for example,
Hmm.
the copy would eventually degrade, go off track, which we've had. Google have had their own
Yeah.
examples of an AI
Hmm.
going rogue and
Yeah.
having depression thoughts, I think there was even suicidal thoughts at some point.
Yes.
The problem is a program of the person of the cumulative things we have of them, it will eventually go rogue from the personality that Stan Lee has. Because the
Hmm.
thing is, the comparison of a AI to a human, we have something different compared to an AI because an AI is only just thought. We humans have both thought and soul and
Yeah.
spirit.
That's the big difference. Okay.
And as spirits and in a Christian perspective, a machine will always be soulless. It's like
Hmm.
even if we're a copy, we will not feel that copy because when we die, we go off our spirits go off to heaven or hell if you're destined for the or if you made wrong choices
Yeah.
and will not be here anymore.
Hmm.
So it's like it will not be the same because for a person, you have that genuine personality and spirit that we all, in a way, subtly can sense.
Hmm.
If that kind of makes sense. It's like I know it's
Yeah.
going into a spiritual thing, but
Oh, that's fine. That's what
like
this is about. That's what it's about.
yeah, it is. So it's just like it doesn't feel the same. Like a
Yeah.
machine will never feel the same as a human interaction
Yeah.
for so many reasons. On a
Hmm.
like a Christian level or even on non-Christian level, even if you're not a Christian, you're like you can sense that this person, if they made like a human replica, which they're getting there eventually, because there are some AIs out there that have kind of have kind of a mannequin look right now, but eventually they're working on more realistic ones. Um, they will just still not feel the same. They may feel human, they may act human.
Hmm.
They're just never our sense of connection with each other as humans, because God made us to be social creatures,
Yeah.
there won't be that same sense of connection.
Hmm. Yeah. That's a good point. Going back a little bit just to kind of agree with you, um, but also bring up different or build up different topics. In regard to copying human, or basically copy a human person into AI, yes, that will be a completely different being because it's a copy. It's gonna have its own experiences because it's now an AI being. It's no longer a flesh and blood being. And then there's also that part, like you said, the degrading of processes, as well as developing a different personality, and then as well as going off the beaten path, I guess, from what it was intended. That is, I think, the big thing people don't like, even me, that I don't like when they make an AI of a person, especially if they're dead, because
Hmm.
it's not the person anymore. This thing can be corrupted. This thing can be influenced. I mean, people can be too, right? But
Of course.
there's a missing what's the word? There's a missing part between an artificial intelligence and a human, because artificial intelligence will not be able to discern the same way a human can, because it'll base everything on logic, while humans, they do not. It's kind of like a two-in-one thing. There's logic and feeling. AI will go based on logic. There is no feeling. And now, in regards to that, compared to a fictional character that never was a living being like Miku, I think that will be slightly different because it's not based on a living being, and the person who created it, or the company behind it, can still. I think it's the connection that's gonna be the differentiating factor, because a connection that you had to a living being, now AI, will be more unsettling, I guess, and more meaningful, especially if, let's say, you knew Stanley at a personal level, they made an AI of this guy, and he's doing something that you, for a fact, know he probably wouldn't be doing. That's going to be different than to a fictional character who you didn't have a personal connection with. Like, nobody ever did. Nobody does. And it starts going off the rails. People will be able to disassociate themselves from that a little differently than a human turn AI. So I think that's why I believe it would be acceptable if Miku became its own AI being compared to a human turn AI. I think that'll be the major factor, that people will be able to disassociate themselves easier.
I'd agree.
I was also going to bring up, speaking of AI creators, I was also going to bring up Quebblecop. I don't know if you heard of this person.
Uh, I'm the name doesn't sound familiar, but probably the project, maybe.
Okay, well, Quebblecop was I think he was a Minecraft YouTuber. I could be wrong. But around 2003, this guy decided to create an AI version of himself, so the AI can make YouTube content rather than him.
Yep, I remember this.
I think we already touched on this, but because we talked about Beetle and their AI content creators, in regard to them actually being AI. I don't like it. This guy is able to make money off of it. Okay. I don't like it. I disagree with it. I don't think he should have done that. But that's my opinion. This guy is doing his own thing. I can't tell him I can't control him. I can't tell him. I can only just state my opinion on it. But this compared to Beetle, this is more. I would say I would disagree with that more than I would with Beetle. I don't know what's your thoughts on that.
Essentially, it does sound like cheating, but again, it's like, to be honest, it does seem very wrong. It is very wrong. It is a. But to be honest, he has the rights to himself. So it's like, it's kind of.
Yeah,
So if we're thinking at it from a moral perspective of like many people's arguments, it's like, oh, they're just using someone else's, like AI uses someone else's content. Well, he's using AI to make his own content based off of him. So
yeah. So there's room for more arguments than that, I guess. But
there's
I would say, yeah, it's kind of like cheating because he's not doing it. He's letting an AI do it. But if it's working out for him, then it's working out for him.
I mean,
It's more his audience that kind of feeds into that.
it's more like I have to look into it more to see like how he's using it.
Mm-hmm.
Because if he's using it as just a replacement, then it's definitely morally and ethically wrong because you are the content creator. People come to watch you, not a copy of you.
Yeah.
I don't know. I was like, it's funny enough. I was thinking about this in my brain as we were talking about it,
Okay.
about the whole like creating a copy of someone.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, it would make things so much easier to have a copy of yourself. But at the same time, then if you're not interacting or if you're not the one doing the interacting, then what's the point of being a streamer or a content creator?
Yeah.
At that point, it's like, okay, your guy's doing your job.
Yeah.
Like I get it. I get if you need it and you're doing many other projects, which I know from own personal experience that it would be nice to have two of me. Do one do the content and the other one does the things behind the scenes.
Yeah.
But man, that's just completely and utterly wrong though. Unless you have a way to, I guess if we get like a neural link that links up to your own brain and it connects to your own thought patterns, then it would be fine because you're just basically mentally controlling a puppet. But
Yeah. It's kind of like VTubing.
yeah, kind of like VTubing, and it's like, okay, it's using that part of my brain, like, oh, that's something we should talk about in the future podcast episode. The whole neuro thing Elon Musk is doing. Anyway,
Okay, we'll put it on the side for another day.
yeah, it's like right now it's just more my example. I'm using it more as an example, like, oh yeah, I could put an implant in my brain and just have that puppeting the Twitch stuff while I'm working on other behind the scenes things,
Yeah.
which would be so much easier in a way. But anyway, but yeah, it's using it in that way, using yourself as an AI. It's like it's very morally wrong because, but I can see the reason why you would use it.
Okay.
It's like I can see both sides of why, but it's like I haven't watched him use it, so it's like I don't know his thought process behind why.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like looking at his channel right now. It kind of just looks like he is actually back to doing his own content, maybe.
Well, actually, from what I found, that some of it is him, some of it is an AI clone.
Yeah. So it's like I don't know how he's doing it though, because you still have to physically play the game. Unless he's like he hired someone to play the game for him while he just sitting.
That was one of the things people uh said about what he's doing. Like, he hires a person to play the game, and the AI will react to it as if the AI was playing the game. Or he'll
At that point,
upload gameplay and have an AI react to it as if it was playing it.
at that point, you're just doing a lot of production value with extra steps. At that point, it's like then just pay someone to act for you. like like do you want to make a movie? Okay, go make a movie about yourself and playing video games. At that point, I think he's just making a movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. It's like that's like morally it's wrong the way he's doing it. Now if he wants to do like production value of like just keeping the name live, then yeah. I mean, okay. Since we're on this pathway subject, it's like if let's say for example we were big VTubers ourselves, which eventually we might be, um, who do like YouTube content and all that content and stuff. Like and we made such a big name and then I don't know, eventually we kicked the bucket.
Mhm.
Would either of us consider a contingent plan of creating an AI to keep the name going?
I would not.
I mean, I would prefer to just hand it down to if one of my kids wanted to be a VTuber and they wanted to use the Zaph name. But
Yeah, in that regard,
I would
I
hand it down.
yeah, in that regard, yes. But if it's for an AI, then we're going back to the Stanley example.
Yeah, we're going back to the Stanley example. It's like, I don't know. Who knows how good it'll be in the future? It's like, I don't know, make a AI sidekick at that point, it may be, but that's like, I don't know. But at that
Yeah.
point, it's like, nah. Or I don't know, make some type of production where we're all puppets in a show or something. I don't know. It's a thought anyway. But yeah,
Okay. Well, I think
okay.
we hit the 2 hour mark.
We are
Uh,
beyond the 2 hour mark.
yeah,
We should wrap this up with something biblical,
we should. Do you want to do like a verse of the day, or do you want to have
something topical. I feel like something
something
topical would be
topical?
great.
Okay, I think the one that you shared, the Exodus verse, I think that was
Yeah,
pretty good.
yeah, that one's good. I mean, I can repeat it again.
Yeah.
And okay, so for everyone, we were in Exodus 23-5. You shall not have no other gods before me. You shall not make for yourself an image in the form of anything in heaven above or on the earth beneath or in the waters below. You shall not bow down to them or worship them, for I, the Lord your God, am a jealous God, punishing the children for the sin of the parents to the third and fourth generation of those who hate me. To kind of tie that all in, it's like this is definitely talking about worshiping other idols. Like
Yeah.
AI has become a tool that could potentially do that kind of thing because some people use it to fill in a lot of their needs or skills and stuff and could actually could use like for example to replace that hole that God had or the God-shaped hole we have in our hearts,
Hmm.
which is which is something we should be careful of. Remember, AI is a tool, and God, like God made us to be creators. Uh, like, like we create things, we build things, we design things. AI is a creation, a creation, not a person to, or not a tool that should be utilized as a replacement for God or be a tool that is beyond or used in a unbiblical method. Use discernment when using AI and interacting with it.
Sweet. Every outro, just prayer. All right, listeners, if you want to bow your heads, close your eyes. Heavenly Father, we thank you for this opportunity today to get together and just talk, as well as inputting your spirit into the topics we talk about, Lord, even also in this podcast, Lord. Let it just be a place where people can come, converse, as well as ask questions and seek you more through the little things and in their daily lives, Lord. Again, we thank you, Lord, for this opportunity, Lord. We ask that you bless the people that were listening, Lord. Watch over them. We thank you for them, Father, for their ears just to listen to what we have to say as Christians as well, Father. And we ask that you bless this podcast as we continue to push this forward and see where it goes, Lord. We aim to use this podcast to spread your message and glorify you, Lord, as well as just talk about some topics and what they can do for us, or how they are either for or against your word, Father. Again, we thank you. We continue to praise you, Lord. In Jesus' name I pray, amen.
Amen.
Amen. Alrighty. We're going to end it here. Leave any questions. We probably won't answer questions, so don't put questions. Leave your opinions in the comments below. What you think about AI. Is it good? Is it bad? Does it matter to you at all? I don't know. Let us know.
Any biblical insights?
Or any
on the
biblical
subject?
insights you have on the subject. If for those who are Christian, Catholic, if you believe in the Bible, put your biblical insights. And this recording has been done around the 6th of December in 2025. Take care, everybody. God bless you all. Merry Christmas.
God
Happy New
bless.
Year. God bless. We'll see you all.
Here.
We'll see you all next year. 2026. Ta-ta.
Game over.